Don't allow anybody to shame you out of your position. I'm talking to you, chosen one. Somebody who's cultivating, somebody who's becoming, somebody who's always transforming, somebody who's figuring themselves out along the way. And sometimes when we get on this journey, y'all, sometimes when we're called to live differently and not to be perfect, but to just live a different life, you're unique, you're set apart. You have gifts that's tailor-made just to you. So when you do this, sometimes people will shame you out of your position because it looks different than what they're used to. It sounds different than what your environment is used to. So people, the enemy that he uses, they will try to dim you and break you down before you can get started on this thing, right? Because whoever I'm speaking to, there's something that you've been working on, whether it's just yourself, whether it's you and a goal, it's your business, whatever it is, you've been working on this thing. And it's been going from the inside out. And that's the thing we have to realize, that when we get on this quote unquote journey called the chosen journey, when we get on this thing, a set apart life, or just doing life, y'all, just being us in general, especially when you live outside the box, y'all. When you do that, it's hard, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. It's hard because you don't have a blueprint. You don't have anything around you to go off of. You are that. Whoever I'm speaking to, you are that blueprint. You are that leader. You are the person to do something different. And when people don't understand it, they'll shun it. They'll talk about it. They'll gossip. They'll do all of these things, y'all, to get you out of your rightful position. I'm speaking to you, chosen one. I'm speaking to somebody who's creating just something totally new for yourself. You hadn't seen it done in your family. You don't know what it looks like. All you know is that you keep being asked or nudged to do something, whatever that something is, y'all. It don't have to be grand. It don't have to be applauded. It don't have to be seen. But a lot of us that are walking this journey, we are a display from the Most High. So we go through things in the public eye, and people will talk about you because they don't really understand what it is you're doing and what it is you're going through. So I just want to come and encourage you on today, y'all. And we're going to get into this thing because I want to talk just a little bit about this B. Simone thing, y'all. Because sometimes people don't really understand this whole journey. And so the same ones that talk about you be the same ones that really, need you. I'm going to keep it real. They need to see somebody like you. They need to see you out here pressing, baby, doing what you do, how you do what you do. So, y'all, listen, those of you that are new to the channel, welcome to the channel, y'all. We switching it up just a little bit. Over here is truth, love, and light. We're going to continue to move forward in whatever the Divine Most High told you to do, and do it in your way. Because you're meant to shake up a few things. You're meant to step out, baby, and do something a little different. Your life is created and designed just like that, strategically by God. So, y'all, we got to be mindful of the fact that when we're doing this thing, first of all, we have to nurture it. We have to nurture this new thing. We have to nurture our healings. We have to nurture this idea of being wealthy, because a lot of us don't know what that looks like. So we're the first to try to step into that thing, and it's hard. It's hard when you beating the pavement. It's hard when you're going against the grain. It's hard when you're trying to come up out of poverty, when you're trying to overcome all those things, those narratives that's playing in your mind. It gets hard, y'all, if we keep it real. If we keep it real, it gets hard. So, y'all, we have to be comfortable and careful at the same time. I don't know why that's coming through like that, but comfortable and careful at the same time, knowing this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I stand for, but I'm not going to get comfortable in the fact that this is that, but then I'm walking around and I'm trying to figure out like all these different pieces. Right now, that's what I feel like. All these different pieces are moving. They just moving, and I'm trying to put it together and make it make sense for y'all as I speak this, and I hope it do, y'all, because that's how our lives are. There's so many moving parts, and we're always transforming and becoming and doing all of these things. Meanwhile, there's outside things and entities and people and voices that's also trying to play a role that wants to be the major part of your destiny, of your new beginning, of your life. And that's not happening, whoever I'm speaking to. So, y'all, let's get into this thing. I hope that made sense, because we're doing something different over here, and I just want to pour into your cup. So let's get into it. First of all, don't let people shame you out of your position. Let's get into it. Your glasses are no longer in black and white. Point number one, whoever I'm speaking to, a chosen one, your glasses are no longer in black and white. There was a season where you could possibly only see yourself to a certain degree. You can only see yourself as far as that driveway that you're standing in, looking out of. You can only see yourself as far as the mailbox. You got an apartment, baby. You can see your mailboxes. You can only see yourself at that point, at that, extent. But now the Most High God is putting you into a position where now, baby, your possibilities is through the roof. You are like Joseph. You carry that coat of many colors. And y'all, when we talk about the coat of many colors, back then in the Bible, it's just talking about the gifts that Joseph carried. You got those gifts. You may not have the same gift as me. You may not have the same gift as your mama, your cousin, whoever came before you, but you have your own gifts. You have something that God has given you. And this thing is beyond what you can probably perceive. So at one season, baby, you had on them black and white shades or them glasses, and now God is giving you a new perspective on what's possible for you. But when you start out in that new position, when you start out in that new way of being, that new way of thinking, when you start healing all of that stuff, y'all, you start out as a quote-unquote babe. You start out as a baby. You start out on milk. You start out trying to figure out what this thing looked like. And we have to be careful, y'all, because if we don't, we will allow people to shame us at the very beginning before we can even get started. Shame us, tell us that it's not going to work, that you're doing too much. It don't take all of that. All of these things from the outside. And God is saying, but I gave you a new pair of glasses now. You have talent. You got gift. I gave you experiences. So all these experiences that you've gone through, it was not in vain. The heartaches weren't in vain. None of that. None of it was in vain. Everything you've gone through, baby, has strategically built you up for this moment right here. Whatever your moment is. Whoever God is calling you to be. However you're supposed to show up. This is that right now, y'all. So don't let nobody shame you out of your position. You have a rightful position. It may not be on a platform like this, but you've been called to live life a certain way. To be a certain way, to carry out a certain kind of position, a leadership role, whoever I'm speaking to, I just got to put it out there. You are meant to be a leader, even if it's just in your family. You are still that leader. People still look for you to do certain things. Look for you, even if they don't say it, y'all. They watch you. And that's why God has put you in a position like this. And I'm telling you, because you are that display, we go through those seasons and those moments, y'all, where we have to be humbled, which goes into Simone. But I don't want to get into it too quick, y'all, but we have to be humble. God puts us out there and he shows us in the seasons where we have it and we don't have it. And that's the very thing. That's your position. That's where God is building you up. But people will talk about you in the moments where God is humbling you, teaching you, showing you really who you are. That's all it is. Just showing you who you are. And people will shame you at that moment to where you feel like, I was doing better when I was out here doing that. I was doing better when I was sleeping with this person, dating this person. I was doing better with this, this, and this. But that's the very thing that the enemy wants, y'all. For us to turn around and go back to what we thought was quote unquote good. When the only thing that's happening when people try to shame you, especially when you're chosen and you go, because it's not easy. I gotta keep saying that, y'all, because when we step into this path, when we know that we've been called to do something different, we know we've been called to be set apart, just live our lives a different way. It's very unique, extremely unique. Your life, not anybody else's, yours. It's also hard. It's so hard. Because people put this standard on you and make you feel like you should be a certain way because your energy and your spirit presents itself like that. But oftentimes, if we keep it 100, our environments don't always line up to that. We have to work up to this quote unquote blessing, this inheritance that's rightfully yours. We have to work up to that. In those moments, those seasons where we're working up to it, that's where everybody have their mouth on you. Everybody have their eyes on you. Everybody has an opinion about what your life should look like, be like, because you had it in one season, and now you're saying you walking with God, or you're chosen and you're all of this, and now you're going through those moments where God is just simply stripping you down of the things that no longer serve you. It no longer serve you. And whoever I'm speaking to, I'm telling you right now, you have a coat of many colors. The possibilities are infinite. You can do whatever you choose to do if you put your mind to it, if you believe it, because you have said, you know what, I chose you, you chose me, all of that. Now you two can create together. You and the divine, you and God, you and Holy Spirit can create together. It's no longer black and white for you. Whoever I'm speaking to, and you may be thinking about, okay, I already have this thing going on. I already got my 9 to 5. It's working for me. I got my money. I'm good. But I also want to do this. Or I keep feeling nudged. I got this channel, but I also want to start this. Or I got this business, but now I want to go over here and try to put my hands in this a little bit to see if I can extend this. Do it. You're no longer in the box. And you don't have to be ashamed about your new beginnings. That's it right there. Go out, Spirit. You do not have to be ashamed of your new beginnings, y'all. We all do not despise your small beginnings. That's scripture. I don't know exactly which one, but I know it's scripture. When we start out, we got to know this thing is new. We're nurturing it. We're becoming something from the inside out. Not only do we have the gifts and talents, and those things have to come up and come out, and we have to nurture those, but you have to become a whole new person. Your identity has to shift. Your identity has to shift. And so when you come out of, quote unquote, like the religious people say, you come out of the world and you start stepping into this thing, this person, this version that God has created you to be, all those things that you thought that was your stability, those people, places, and things that you thought was going to hold you down, it has to be stripped off of you. And those are the moments where people put you in, quote unquote, shame. But you're just evolving, you're growing, you're becoming. So don't let people shame you out of the position that's rightfully yours, because you're simply starting new. You're becoming something that you hadn't seen. You don't know what that looked like. So you got to be sure that you're careful, but get comfortable with the fact that, baby, this is just what it is. This is what I've been called to. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to let it work for me. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace my quirkiness. I'm going to embrace my insecurities. I'm going to embrace the fact that it's not perfect yet. I'm going to embrace the fact that I had to let some people, places, and things go. Even if my new beginning looks like it's tragic, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace it, so that I can continue to grow, evolve, become, do what I need to do for me and mine. You're no longer walking in that black and white kind of phase, y'all. You're no longer boxed into what man has said you should be, you should do, you should look like. You cannot be ashamed or shamed out of your position. I'm talking to you, chosen one, because y'all listen, being chosen, you have to acknowledge the fact that there's someone that's higher than you. Because you're weak. You're not, all your power, your light, your knowledge, your discernment, all of that comes from God. So at some point you have to take a moment to be like, God did that. I couldn't pay them bills last week, last month. God did that. That's a part of you being chosen. That's a part of God letting you know, baby, this is me and you right now. To heck what everybody else got to say, what everybody else is doing, how everybody else is coming up and coming out. It's a you and God thing in this season, baby. And there's a moment where you have to be big and boastful and say that and do that. And people will shame you for that very thing. You always talking about God. Where your God at? You out here this and this and this and this and this. Before you can even get to where you need to get to, they will try to shame you. But whoever I'm speaking to, you're chosen. So when you stand up and you tell them, God said, God told me to move. God told me I can't talk to you no more. God told me to go over here and pay this bill like this and not pay you. I'm keeping it 100 right now. Because some people don't understand what it looked like when God chooses you and you choose God back. So for them, it looks like chaos, but behind the scenes, baby, it's a beautiful chaos. God is making sure that the pieces are getting to where it needs to get to, and so are you. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Next one, you got a new deck of cards. This is what the Holy Spirit has been giving me concerning you, concerning your situation, concerning your new beginning, concerning the fact that, baby, you just been set apart. You're not like everybody else. Your life is not set up like everybody else. You've been given a new deck of cards. I told you, don't let anybody shame you out of your position. So that last deck, baby, this is how the Holy Spirit gave it to me. Your last deck was fine. You was used to that. You hadn't got comfortable in that environment. You got comfortable with those people. You got comfortable with the idea that this is just how life is going to be. But something happened within you that woke you up, that shook you to the core, that made you look around at your people, look around at your environment, look around at the spaces and places and realize this ain't for me. This right here is not for me. I've been there, done that. So that was the hand that you were dealt in that season. That is your truth. That's your story. That's what you've gone through, whatever it is. That's a part of you. But you don't have to completely throw the deck away, baby. Just put it in that raggedy box with them raggedy cards and put it in the drawer. And now you're being dealt a new hand. You got a whole new box of cards, whoever I'm speaking to. And y'all, let's get into it. Y'all know my spade players or just cards in general. When you get that new box of cards, baby, and you pull them out, a lot of people don't want to play with new cards because they don't slap like they need to. Let's talk about it. When you slap that card on that table, it just don't give the same kind of effect because it's new. Oh, go off, spirit. Because it's new. So when you step into that new environment, when you start talking different, when you start acting different, being different, it don't hit the same like it did in the past because it's new. But you got to open up them cards, baby. Y'all know you shuffle through depending on how you play your game. You can either take out the big joker and the small joker and play with the twos. Or a lot of people want to take out the twos and play with the jokers. This is a season now. I told you, you have infinite possibilities. I love it, spirit. You have infinite possibilities. There's no more black and white when it comes to you, chosen one. You can do it all if you choose to. So when you pull out that deck, baby, and we start talking about how the game gonna be played, God gives you the instruction. This new deck right here, you get to choose whether you want to play with the big joker or the small joker. You get to choose who's going to sit down at the table. You get to choose, baby, how you deal the cards, because some people like to deal it this way, mess around and switch it up the other way so your partner, the Most High, can get the cards too. I love it. I love it. This is a season now where you get a new deck. You get to break it in. You open the box, you look at the cards, you dissect what's going on in your life, in your mind, what was, who is, and not, all of that. You do, my love, chosen one. You do. You do. Let's keep going, y'all. The training wheels may be on, but you're still riding. We're talking about you not being shamed out of a position that's rightfully yours. A position that's rightfully yours. I'm telling you, when you're chosen, your life doesn't look like everybody else's. It don't. And this chosen thing is not something to sit up and boast in. I keep telling y'all, it's hard. It's hard. And for a lot of us, when we step into it, the training wheels are on for a long time. But you're still moving. You're still riding. You're still becoming. God has to train you up to be the person that you're supposed to be, that you've been called to be. And sometimes that looks like chaos from the outside in. It looks like you don't know what you're doing. You're just out here living life, just, haphazardly. All of these things, because what happened is you're no longer living this thing by yourself. You're also now doing it because God told you to do it. And when God tells you to do something, it always looks crazy to man. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. He don't think like us, operate like us. So if you're truly living a submitted life, not perfect, but a submitted life. When God tell you to do something, you do it. You ask no questions about it, regardless of what it sounds like and look like. It's going to look crazy to man. It's going to, y'all. And so we got to, again, get comfortable in the fact that your life does not look like everybody else, and it's not supposed to. Whatever it is you're doing, I'm telling you, it's going to work for you. However you're showing up, whatever is happening right now, it's going to benefit you. It really is. Do not allow anybody, anything to shame you out of your position. The last one, then we're going to get real quick into this Simone thing, because this is how this all stemmed. God gave it to me. The distance isn't long. It's just not straight. The distance isn't long. It's just not straight. When we're talking about you doing something new, we're talking about you stepping into this version of you that's meant to be. When we're talking about you going after the career, talking about you having a successful marriage, friendships, whatever it is, it feels like this is long. I told you, whoever I'm speaking to, you got the training wheels on. This is something new. And maybe the training wheels aren't on for some of you, but when you're stepping into new things, the training wheels got to get put right back on. This is how your life is. You're continuing to evolve and become and be the person that God has called you to be. So there are seasons where you're not on milk. There are seasons where you're not in training wheels. There are seasons where you're not in warfare. There are seasons where you can just kick back just a little bit. But y'all listen, we're always evolving and always becoming. So your path is never just straightforward. And when people see you, you get a little leeway, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get knocked to the left. You get a little, revelation, you're feeling good, you're in high vibrations, and all of a sudden, boom, something else happens. It's because you're meant to take these strategic steps. Every step is ordered. You're meant to go this way, this place, that place, because in every season, in every environment, you're picking up something that's needed for this new version of you, that's needed for your destiny, that's needed for your calling, that's needed for the marriage, for you to raise the kids. You don't understand that God called you to this school and all these kids are bad as you know what. But then when you get home, you realize, okay, this happened with little Johnny. So I need to make sure I responded like this to this person. When I get home and my child is acting like this, I knew I had to experience this before I can get home and minister and preach and do whatever you do with your children. I needed to experience that. I don't even know why that came forth, but somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to know that your life is not meant to just be straight. It's a narrow path, yes, but y'all, this path can go here and here and here and back and this and this and this. And it's not a long distance. It's just the fact that the path is taking you in different steps in different environments and spaces and places so that you can pick up what's necessary and leave the rest. Some things are just experiences for us, y'all. We have to experience it in order for us to grow, in order for us to do better, to be better. All of that is meant. So y'all listen, let's go back through it again. Don't let people shame you out of your position. Number one, your glasses are no longer in black and white. They're no longer in black and white. People that live, quote unquote, in the world, they see things as black and white. You this or you that. You don't have it or you this. But I'm talking to a person that when you don't have it, you still look like you got it, because it's not your own power, your might, your strength, none of that. It comes from God. So you don't operate and think like everybody else, even when you don't have it. Number two, you got a new deck of cards, baby. God dealt you a hand last season and he told you how to play it, and you played it well. You overcame. You came up and out of what no longer served you. Now he's saying, I'm giving you something new. Let's play this deck. Let's break this deck in. It may not look like your last deck, baby. You may not understand it. Maybe you in a whole new ball game, a whole new, way of being and thinking. And now you have to be taught how to play this hand. Next one, the training wheels may be on, but you're still riding. The training wheels may be on, but you're still riding. You're still having to, if you were good last season and now you've been put into something new and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm starting over. What's going on? I'm sick of having to start my life over. You're not starting over. You're starting stronger. You're starting better. You're starting wiser. This is the season now where the training wheels are being put back on. But baby, you've grown up. You've grown up now. You've matured in a lot of things. And this is the season for us to see it that way. I told you, your glasses are no longer in black and white. Do you perceive that? Do you perceive the fact that I'm not starting over? No, I've gone through some things. I know now better. I know what I need to do. I just have to step into this new version now. Step on this new level now. Get into my groove now. Know who I am now. Know what to settle for, what not to settle for. The people I need to be speaking to, not speaking to. Baby, you've matured. You've matured. Last one, the distance isn't long. It's just not straight. It's just not a straight path for you. It never will be, y'all. You're chosen. This path isn't meant to be straightforward. You go here and here and here and here and here. But if you look at your past, everything you've experienced helped you for now. Even as a child, you didn't even realize you were being groomed for a moment like this to be a leader. We called it being outcast, black sheep, underdogs, grasshoppers. We put all those negative narratives and connotations over those things, but that's your power. That's your truth. And you've been strategically designed and created like that, so that when you step into spaces and places and environments, baby, you won't be shaken. You won't be rattled. You will know that new position, that it's just you evolving. It's just you nurturing that gift. It's just you figuring out how to be a wife, a husband. It's just you now mothering these kids a little bit different than your parents did. And you have to learn that through your experiences. So don't let people shame you out of your position just because you're experiencing life. Go off, spirit. Go off. So y'all listen, I followed B Simone for a little while back in the past because she was hot. She was a hot topic. Everybody was all that baby girl. Everybody wanted to be tapped in and tuned into that. So she had a moment, baby, when she was quote unquote in the world. Let's talk about it, y'all. Again, this channel is not for the religious, but we're going to speak of it as if God is speaking to you and I. Okay. So this she was in the quote unquote world, and she was doing it, y'all. She was doing her thing. I got to give it to her. She was doing it. And she was known for that baby girl thing. But she had also a moment where she had gone viral for something she said. Where she was saying people, or she doesn't want to date a man that works a 9-to-5. That was her opinion. That was her truth. But she went viral for it because people felt like she was talking reckless. How can you not want a man that's working 9-to-5? They still stable. They this. So she got shunned for a long time because of that. But she still kept going to the point where she then stepped into, I think, comedy. She started doing comedy, and she took off with that too, with Nick Cannon, doing all of those things, y'all. Now, my girl, I hadn't been watching her, but there was moments where she was attached to, I think, Megan Ashley. I've come back in contact with her now. They had started their little podcast or whatever they were doing, and it was based around faith. It was based around her moving into a different kind of space, a different kind of environment, being different. But she was still attached to the whole comedy thing. And I think she may still be. I really don't know. I haven't been following her. But all I know right now is that she's now back up in discussion because I guess she made a comment about her having hardship. But this lady right now is on a path and a journey that she feels and knows that she's chosen. If y'all go look at her podcast, that's what it's surrounded around right now. She's walking into that faith-based kind of environment. She's out here. This is a lady who had, again, y'all, listen to me now. Because I don't know why God is going here with it. She had all these eyes on her when she was out there talking about baby girl. And now she's talking about being chosen. She's walking this faith walk. Guess what the enemy has done? Put her in the spotlight. And I call it the enemy, y'all, but it's God too. God will use whatever he have to use to get us where we need to go. So now she's in the spotlight, but she's now in the spotlight under this thing called quote unquote chosen, this faith base. And she's saying, I'm having hard times. I'm having hardships right now. Let's talk about it. Those of us that chosen, we know that. I'm laughing, y'all, because this thing is wild how the enemy works. So now she said, I'm in this faith-based thing. I'm walking. I'm doing what I feel like I should be doing right now. I'm standing 10 toes down on God. Here come the enemy, putting her out there in the public eye, shaming her for her hardships. Now that she's saying she walking with God. Ain't that crazy, y'all? And I'm not saying she hadn't done some things. I don't know what she does behind the scenes. I can't say about any of that. All I know is that this lady has influence. She's a leader. People have seen her as that way. So she can get on this platform and shake up some things if she needs to. And she's been doing it. She's been talking about her faith, and then boom, Here come the devil. Want to shame you out of your position. Make you feel like when you were back doing this and that, you had it. But now you're talking about God saying you're chosen. All these eyes are on you. Everybody got an opinion now about what you said. Not realizing that, yeah, the enemy's trying to use it to make you feel bad, make you feel down. But it's also God. Oh my goodness. It's God who has put that spotlight on her, because the same ones that talk about you when you down, baby, are going to be the same ones that see you when you rise. So this is a season now where a lot of us, y'all, I'm using her as an example, but our lives are put on display where God can use us and get the glory out of it. So the same ones, this lady now saying she had hardship, she this and this and this and this and this. There's going to be a season where God switches it back around, and that's going to be the moment where she can say, it was nobody but God. Yeah, you saw me when I did. You saw me when I said. You saw me when this happened. But her faith is being tested right now. I don't even know this lady, y'all. All I know is that when you step into this arena, when you start talking about God, especially when you have influence, when you're considered a leader, when God has called you to do something new, I'm telling you right now, he's going to use the enemy, and also he's going to use, it's just that's how it works, y'all. I hope this is making sense. Because sometimes we will be so heavy on the devil and we don't realize that it could be God as well. It can be the Most High as well. And if we're not careful, we will allow people to shame us out of a moment that should be praised, out of a moment that we should get comfortable with the fact, you know what, I'm going through this, but I know it's going to get better. I'm just leveling up. That's it. And the devil will want you to think, and the people that he uses, because everybody want to have a piece of the pie. So they'll talk about you when it looks like you're not winning. They'll feast off of you. They'll put your title, your name, everything. They'll have you going viral, baby, for stupidity. And I know this lady probably would never see this video. I'm not expecting her to. This is all about me letting you know that as a chosen one, sometimes our lives are put on display, y'all. We have to grow up in the quote-unquote public eye. We have to grow up in the public eye, and we get, we feel some type of way about that because people always have something to say when it comes to you. And when you doing good and when you doing bad, somebody's always going to have something to say about your life, about the way you live, because you're truly tapped in, tuned in to your higher self, to the Holy Spirit. I hope that makes sense, y'all. I really hope that makes sense. Don't let people shame you out of your position. Now, she has a choice right now. She can go fold up, fold down, back away, and say, God, why would you allow such a thing? You told me to do X, Y, Z, and I was vulnerable. I spoke my truth, and now here come the enemy trying to do this and say that, bringing up my past. Go off, spirit. Bringing up my past, wanting to shame me for something I said when I was ignorant and I didn't know better. But the moment I step into this new version of me and I start realizing who I am, I know that I can do better, be better. It's okay for me now to share my testimony. The moment I do, the devil try to switches it around and make me feel shame for the very thing you delivered me from. Go off, spirit. Go off, spirit. Shaming you for the very thing that God wants to bless. Oh my goodness. Do not let people shame you out of your position. For a long time, yeah, I don't know where my path is headed. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. All I know is that I'm obedient in the seasons, in the moments. When God tell me to do it, I do it. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't. And so when I say that, I feel like the devil feels that's the moment for him to come in and try to play with this. But as long as you stay obedient to what God is telling you to do in that season, you're going to be just fine, baby. You're going to get exactly what you deserve, where you're supposed to be. That path may go this way, that way, that way. But I guarantee you 100% you're going to get to where you need to be. Physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, all of that. And I kept saying that's where I was headed to. I kept saying I don't want to be a preacher. I don't want a pastor. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. And I don't even know if that's in the cards for me, y'all. I told you I'm getting dealt this new hand. I don't know. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with enjoying the journey, figuring out who I am. It was a point where I felt like, God, why? I'm so tired of starting over, and I don't want to preach. I don't want to this and that. But I feel like those are the moments where God is saying, but this is something, and again, I don't know. This is something that's embedded in you. Why are you pushing my gift away? That's the enemy that wants you to be ashamed of something that naturally comes to you. When I get on here, y'all, I just want to talk. But there's a lot of times when I listen back to my messages, I feel like I'm preaching. It's just within me. And maybe I'm not, but I just feel like I am. I feel like I am. So I have to stop saying, I don't want to preach. I don't want to be a pastor. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. When that's the very thing that God may be calling me to. But I'm not going to press it. I'm not going to push it. I'm still not going to allow the devil, myself, or anybody else to talk me out of my position, though. To shame me out of my position. Because why don't I want to preach? Let's clock it. I'm talking about me now. I'll put myself in the road and run me over. Why don't I want to preach? What is it that's making me feel like it's something wrong with preaching? Besides the fact that the enemy wants to talk you out of your position. It may not be preaching, but I have something embedded in me that naturally comes up and out. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you, chosen one. How you live, your character, your personality, how God created you, that quirkiness, all of that stuff is who you are. It naturally comes out of you. So people will shame you because you're not like them. You don't speak like them. You don't operate like them. In those seasons where you're called to do something new, called to be a different way, guess what the devil gonna do? He's gonna try to come in and snatch it before you can even get to that rightful position. And going back to B. Simone, she's been doing this for a little while. She's been talking about this whole journey of faith for a little while. And I don't know what happened with her and Megan, but it looks like they have taken their own two paths. But she still has stayed on the journey. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I could care less, y'all. I can care less about being in people's business like that. All I know is what God has allowed us to see. Which is the fact that this lady was ridiculed when she was out there, but yet she, she bounced back because the world loved that. They ate off that too. Now she's talking about being chosen. She on this faith walk. Here it comes again. In another way, being vulnerable, being real, being true, being raw, speaking her testimony. And somebody will take it, and the devil himself will try to shame you out of your position. Not when it comes to you, chosen one. Not when it comes to your better, your new beginning, who God called you to be. Absolutely not. There's more for you, and you're going to get that more. You're going to stay on that path. You're going to live outside the box. You're going to do you, be you. Be real, be true, be raw. Even when you don't understand it, still show up. Still do life. Still be you. And be okay, y'all, when you're good and when you're not. It's okay to not be okay. We don't make a bed there, but it's okay to not be okay, because everybody can't do what you do. Everybody can't show up like you show up. You have a command and a demand and a calling on your life that you just cannot shake. You can't. Whoever I'm speaking to, this thing you cannot shake. It's rightfully yours, but it's also something God has embedded in you. Whatever it is, y'all. I hope this making sense. I really do, y'all. I'm telling you, this is where we're headed. More conversations like this. This is the first episode, so let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. It's a journey. This journey right here that we're walking on, you and I, if you connect with me and you want to ride this train, this is where we are now taking a hard left. Our identity is switching. What we thought was possible for us is switching. How we're showing up is switching. Giving our power away to negativity, to darkness, to energies that no longer serve us, that's switching. We're pushing that out the door. It no longer serves you. So why is it still around? Why is it still a topic of discussion? That's how the devil wants you to be, creating this narrative to keep them a topic of discussion. That negativity, a topic of discussion. But you're evolving, you're becoming, you're pressing forward. This is that moment now. This is that moment now. So welcome. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this new version of you. Welcome to your new beginning, this becoming. Welcome, y'all. We're going to continue to move forward regardless of what it looked like. Regardless. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Thank you for sharing your time with me, your energy with me. Thank you for giving me just a listening ear, y'all. Y'all don't realize when I get on this camera, I'm speaking, but this is a moment where I can release, I can pour, I can give, and it makes me feel so good to do it, y'all. So the fact that you've taken time to even sit and just listen to what little old me got to say. I appreciate it. I appreciate your presence. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Please know that. Y'all keep your head up, keep doing you, keep being you. Until next time, y'all be easy. Peace.